Today, we are diving deep into something truly fascinating. We're going to explore this wild intersection of cutting-edge AI and, believe it or not, ancient mysticism. We're going to ask what happens when our newest technology starts creating experiences that, for centuries, people thought were, well, gateways to the divine. So let's get into it.
Okay, so this is nothing new, right? We've all seen it. You type in a few words and bam, AI spits out these incredible images. Art that can genuinely move you, stuff that feels packed with meaning and symbolism.
But it doesn't just stop with pictures. It gets weirder. AI can now comb through entire libraries of sacred texts and then write new passages that feel completely authentic. I mean, it mimics the style, the tone, the depth of actual scripture.
And this, right here, is what this whole explainer is really about. Because beyond just making art or writing text, AI can create entire simulated realities. Complex, consistent worlds. So, what on earth happens when a technology this powerful runs headfirst into a worldview that takes unseen worlds very, very seriously?
To really get our heads around the problem this creates, we need to dust off an ancient map. But this isn't a map of any physical place. It's a map of consciousness itself, of reality itself.
So, I want you to meet Ibn Arabi. He was a Sufi master from the 13th century. But don't just think of him as some figure from a history book. Think of him as a master cartographer of consciousness. His work is this incredibly detailed map of both the world we see and the worlds we don't, and it is shockingly relevant today.
And for what we're talking about, there is one key destination on his map that we need to zoom in on, a place's school of thought called the Imaginal World.
Now this is so important. When you hear Imaginal World or ʿArabī al-Mithāl, please do not think imaginary, like it's just make-believe. That's not it at all. In this system, it's a real, objective, intermediate reality, like an isthmus or a bridge, a barzakh, where spiritual truths that don't have a physical form can actually take on a form you can perceive.
Check out this quote from a 14th century scholar, Dawood al-Qaysari, who was a huge expert on Ibn Arabi's work. He nails it. But listen closely to that last part. The elite see it in wakefulness. What does that mean? It means this isn't just about having a weird dream. It's a realm that was considered totally accessible to people who had the right spiritual training.
So what's the point of this place? Well, according to this tradition, it's the home of true dreams and prophetic visions. It is the actual medium that allows the infinite, the divine, to communicate with us in the finite world. It gives spiritual ideas a form, a picture we can understand. You could think of it like the screen where a visionary unveiling, or kashf, actually plays out.
But, and this is a really big but, you couldn't just wander into this world casually. No way. It required a serious toolkit, a whole set of skills designed to make sure what you were seeing was real and not just, your own ego playing tricks on you.
And this path to making sure what you saw was legit was, as you can see, super disciplined. It started with something called adab, or spiritual discipline. And this isn't just about having good manners. It's about polishing your heart until it's like a perfectly clean mirror, so it can reflect a true vision without any distortion. Then came firasa, which is this kind of illuminated discernment. It's described as a power of the heart itself, an intuition that lets you see the hidden reality behind things. And crucially, you didn't do this alone. You absolutely needed the guidance of a shaykh, a spiritual master who's been there, done that, and could help you make sense of it all. And finally, every vision had to go through tathabbut, this rigorous verification process to confirm its source. This whole toolkit was the safety net.
Okay, so now we have our two contenders. In one corner, we have the incredibly powerful AI simulation. And in the other, we have this ancient idea of spiritual unveiling. It's time to put them head to head.
This table really lays out the core differences, so let's just walk through it. First up, the source. Where does the information come from? For AI, it's a data set. It's huge, yeah, but it's finite, and it was made by humans. For spiritual unveiling, the source is claimed to be tajalli, a direct, infinite, divine self-disclosure. Totally different ballpark. Now, what about their nature? An AI gives you an algorithmic output, a simulation. But the imaginal world is described as an objective reality. And that brings us to the biggest difference, verification. How do you know it's the real deal? You check an AI against its code and its data. But you verify a spiritual vision using that whole toolkit we just talked about, the illuminated heart, firasa, guided by a master.
And this quote, wow, this is from an actual AI instruction manual. It says it all. The corpus itself is the universe of discourse, not to expand it. What that means is the AI is trapped in a closed box. It can shuffle and recombine everything in that box in brilliant ways, but it can never, ever get information from outside the box. It literally cannot have a true unveiling of something genuinely new.
And that brings us right back here, to today, to the heart of the modern dilemma and the entire point of this discussion.
So here it is, the big question. We live in an age where literally anyone with zero spiritual training, no guide, no discipline, can type a sentence and have an AI generate something that looks and feels profoundly spiritual and symbolic. So is there a real danger here? Could we start confusing a really good simulation for an authentic spiritual unveiling simply because we don't have that traditional toolkit for telling the difference anymore?
You see, the old path had built-in safeguards, a whole system of verification. But today, we have this unbelievably powerful tool for simulation, but we've lost the toolkit for discernment. So when the simulation gets so good that it's almost impossible to tell apart from what these traditions called reality, the question we're all left with is this: how in the world do we verify the source?